Well, hello, everybody. John Hunt here from MarketingPlanGuide.com. Welcoming you to another edition of our live Monday Marketing Plan Q&A programs. We do this every Monday except for major holidays. And I wanted to speak quickly into the purpose of this session so we can get to the business at hand, which is answering your questions. The purpose of this session is just to allow you to ask any questions relating to creating your marketing plan, and we're pretty broad with that definition. So you can submit just about anything, and if I can't answer it, I will find the right person to do it and get some answers for you. So, and today I have a special guest. My special guest today is Mike Mraz. He is a trade show educator, and he's also a strategist, marketing strategist, a great sales trainer. Mike, are you there with us today? Have you joined in?
Well, I'm hoping that the technology's working. How do I sound, John?
Oh, you sound marvelous, baby. All right, everything is cool and good to go. We got actually several pre-submitted questions today regarding trade shows. That's why I asked Mike on. Mike did a webcast with us last Thursday on the 3 secrets to trade show marketing, and we had a Q&A portion of that which got cut short, so we allowed people to submit some more questions so we could get that piece done as well. But I do like to take the questions in the order that I did receive some. This one is, how do you maximize the use of a 10 by 10 space, and what are the essentials to include? I suppose that's one of the more popular sizes that people have, and a lot of people probably just have, the 10 by 10 pop-up display. But I think if I were to read the mind of the person submitting this, what are just some of the real essentials? If you know that's your space size, what's got to be there? What's got to be part of your trade show experience there?
Well, you're right, John. The 10 by 10 space, there are usually, for every space that's not 10 by 10, there are 10 by 10s. I mean, it's unanimous that there are more of those options on the show floor. And it's usually the least expensive entry point. So a company who'd want to have a presence at a show, the least expensive option for them, square footage-wise, is the 10 by 10. And the cost of renting that 10 by 10 space, as an aside, is about a third of the overall budget. So it's a significant piece. So when you think about leveraging that, and then looking at the essential components to include it, I'm sure that the questioner was curious about the hard side of things, or the goods, the exhibit itself, and the tables and the positioning of that. And so we're going to address it from that perspective. But before I do, I want to tell you that without a doubt, there are 2 pieces that have nothing to do with the booth space that probably will ultimately supersede everything else as it pertains to effectiveness. And those 2 things are people and promotion. Okay. The human beings that stand on those 100 square feet, and as well as the promotion that's gone on before the event to drive traffic to those people, those are the biggest pieces. But let's just look at what would happen, or what we should consider that people find when they get to the booth. And first and foremost, it's about branding, for sure. You don't want to be cutesy about your brand. This is not a time to be lowbrow, if you will, or understated. We want to be substantial here. As people run by your exhibit space, especially a 10 by 10, because there's only 10 feet of exposure, as they run by your booth to get 3 exhibits down where somebody's giving away mouse pads or whatever, you've only got a few seconds to reach out and connect. And if you have a recognizable brand or a tagline that's significant, you're going to want to make sure that in that quick little brief look they can see and sense whom it is. So once you've done that, branding, of course, number 1. Number 2, it's based on your objectives. What tools and components do you need there, by the way of technology or demos of products, or maybe certain people with skills? What stuff do you need there to tell your story appropriately? Remember, we want to be separating ourselves from the market, and that separation requires an ability to maybe show and tell, if you will, but also to bring the components and the pieces that we need to have them hands-on for folks to get interactive with. And I think that kind of drives the big picture decisions about what we do. But I'm going to get back and just reiterate that it's the people and the promotion that really leverages everything that you do on the physical side.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up to that one, too. So quite often people are, when they get their trade show booth, they get they get their, in fact, when I was watching your video the other day, they get their table and their chairs. And I think you talked about, putting the table up front isn't necessarily the right way to configure your 10 by 10 space. I mean, if you do have just a backdrop, simple setup deal, and a 10 by 10 space, and a table and 2 chairs, where do you want to position that table?
Well, if you need a table, and most exhibitors will say that they need something, I would definitely not make a barrier out of it. I would put it to the side or maybe behind me or someplace out of the way so that I can be standing and face-to-face without any barrier between me and the market, connecting and discussing and hopefully pulling people into my space so that they can be part of my branding experience, if you will.
All right, great. That's awesome. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. This is Marketing Plan Q&A live. We do this every Monday, 3 to 3:30 Central Time, except for holidays. So if there's a holiday, for example, like the 4th of July, we wouldn't be doing it on the 5th, which would be a Monday this year. So our next session would be, of course, the following Monday. But we do this as a service to our customers and friends. We do it also as a way to keep in touch with the market and get a conversation going, so we know what's on your mind and what we can do to help develop things to make your marketing a better effort. So, folks, thank you so much for attending today, and we'll see you on a future program on a Monday coming up soon.